What's up, everybody? This is the Absolute Answer, Nick Cutler, personal trainer, professional wrestler, amateur bodybuilder, Team Gaspari athlete, OnlyFans model, rocking that Cutler swag, that Power Rangers inspired Dark Horse tee. Get it at prowrestlingtees.com/Cutler Coalition. I'm here with my breakfast spread a little later than I normally have it, but I've had a really busy morning. I've had a really busy, hellacious week, and I know a lot of you probably want some kind of details as far as like my father and his passing last week, but I'll probably do a separate video on that entirely because my old man deserves his own spotlight when I talk about him. This is more going to be just an update on what's going on with me, some cruise news that I found out yesterday that I am late discussing. I know all the other cruise people on YouTube are probably going to have this video up already, but again, I've had a very busy 10 days between my father and getting some renovations done at our house, getting up our fence in our backyard, etc., etc., etc. So I'm getting stuff done as I can. So we'll discuss all that over breakfast, but first let's get our supplements down, guys. Anabite, which is a high-performance multivitamin for athletes. I take 3 tabs twice a day. I take my second dose later on in the day with my Proven Greens and Reds just because it helps to remind me to take my second dose. If I took my greens and reds with my morning supplements, I would probably forget to take my second dose of Anabite. So I'll forget to take one thing, but I won't forget to take 2. So, and then my 2 omega-3s. And I am going to rinse that down with a 0 sugar Dr. Pepper. Why? Because 0 calories, 0 problems. Don't be a pussy. Drink your Diet Pop if you want to drink your Diet Pop. Look at that hot wife of mine. Alright, let's get to breakfast, which is 2 whole eggs and 6 egg whites. Yes, there's no sugar added ketchup on them. Why? Because I don't give a shit. I'm not a pussy, and I use condiments as long as they're not incredibly high in fat or sugar. Quick prep update. I'm 15 weeks out today. I weigh 217 pounds. Given my life circumstances the last few weeks, my coach and I have decided that it is going to be better for me to be ahead of the curve instead of falling behind with things that are getting thrown at me from left field. So I'm starting a new split today, and I am going to be increasing my cardio from 30 minutes a day to an hour, so doubling it up. So I should see some weight coming off here pretty quickly in the next week or so. That's really the only prep update. A couple new sponsors, Take Action Photography, that I want to give a shout out to, and Wrestling for Warriors. One of my favorite promotions that I wrestle for is also donated to my cause. If you'd like to join my 2021 sponsorship team, just hit me up in the DMs. A minimum donation of $50 will get you a sponsor t-shirt. Obviously any amount is accepted, but a minimum donation of $50 if you want your own t-shirt that I'm going to be getting made closer to the showtime for advertising purposes. Team Gaspari news, after only 2-ish weeks, because I don't even think I've been doing it for 2 weeks at this point, I am officially the top-selling athlete that they have. I was the top-selling athlete in the month of March after only being there for roughly 10 days. And I've already gotten in less than a month $550 in free supplements. It is awesome working for a team that not only has quality supplementation that I can actually get behind and sell with confidence to my customers, but to be working for a team that looks out for its own. MTS Nutrition, when I was with them, made a lot of promises that they did not follow through with. And while I cannot shit on their formula for any of the things that they offer. Their teamwork, their dedication to their affiliates, and their business practices, I guess you could say, leave a lot to be desired. So I'm very, very happy that I made the jump to Gaspari, and I know Gaspari is very, very happy that they took me in after initially turning me down. Just goes so sometimes you just can't take no for an answer, and they're very happy that I had a rebuttal ready for them, and so am I. So I'm looking forward to being with them for the long haul. Your pepper nachos are done.
Are you kidding? I didn't hear that.
I know. Anyway, cruise news, guys. So, Part 2A of the conditional framework for sailing was released last week, which includes the cruise lines needing to make contractual agreements with local health authorities indicating that if there should be a COVID-19 outbreak on one of their ships, that the onshore hospital facilities are going to be able to take the patients that they have. It also includes coming up with a framework for whether you will or will not require a vaccine to cruise. Pretty much it's a lot of what I consider to be busy work. At this point, I kind of agree with all of the cruise CEOs in the sense that the framework for conditional sailing is not really, my wife's putting different food on my plate, but it's healthy food, so it's okay. It's pepper nachos, so lean beef, peppers, and fat-free cheese. The framework for conditional sailing was released in October when there was no vaccine, when numbers and infection rates and deaths were sky high, and really, even me being a cruiser had to sit there and kind of say, yeah, cruising probably shouldn't be going on right now. At this point, with the vaccine, what's up, buddy? At this point, with the vaccine, with infection rates down, with deaths down, and with everything else in the country opening up, the framework for conditional sailing isn't really applicable to the current environment. And just like science, these conditions and stances should kind of evolve with time. And so Norwegian Cruise Line was the first of the big three here in the United States to kind of give the CDC a rebuttal and say, you know what, this doesn't really work for us. And they submitted a letter of, I guess you could say, permission to the CDC for them to be able to begin sailing as early as the 4th of July this year, under the condition that a vaccine be required for all passengers. Now, as I'm sure a lot of you probably already know if you're cruisers, Royal Caribbean is also offering cruises for all vaccinated passengers. However, they are offering this out of the Bahamas, not out of the U.S. Another big difference between Royal Caribbean and Norwegian is Royal Caribbean is still allowing underage passengers to sail with them, provided that they have a negative COVID test prior to boarding, which they're offering at the port. Norwegian is kind of going the other route, which I really don't agree with, and I feel like they're going to lose a lot of money over this, in saying that all passengers must be vaccinated, regardless of age. The vaccine isn't even available to anybody under the age of 18. So why are you going to require a vaccination from someone who's not even legally able to get it, number one? Number two, the CDC's own guidelines say quite clearly that if you are vaccinated, you can be around other vaccinated people without social distancing, without wearing a mask, and you can even be around less risk individuals such as children and infants without practicing social distancing because they're not really at risk for the virus. So not only is Norwegian requiring masks still and requiring social distancing still, but they're also going to require the vaccine from any and all passengers, regardless of age and regardless of eligibility of said vaccine. That seems ass backwards to me. You're going against the CDC's own guidelines, citing that people that are vaccinated can be around other people that are vaccinated without having to social distance or wear a mask. I'm not going to get a vaccine and then still continue to wear a mask if I don't have to. So I think that you're going to see some decisions made by the big three cruise lines, and people are really going to decide what they feel is best by which cruise line they give their money to. For instance, as everybody knows, my wife and I are hardcore, what's up, buddy? Are hardcore Carnival cruise people. We've been on, I've lost track, hold on, 2012, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2 in 2017, 1 in 2018, 1 in 20... I've been on 8. All of them Carnival. My wife has been on 7. All of them Carnival. We love Carnival Cruise Lines. But we are prepared to jump ship, pun intended, so to speak, if conditions aren't right with us when it comes to Carnival and what they're going to require from the passengers. For instance, if all 3 cruise lines are going to require a vaccine, that's whatever. I'm already vaccinated. My wife is getting her vaccination next week, so that's not going to make any difference to us. But if one cruise line is requiring mandatory vaccines, but one of them is saying, hey, since you're vaccinated and the CDC says you don't have to wear a mask if you're vaccinated, then you don't have to wear a mask on board, and another cruise line saying that you do, I'm going to go with the cruise line that tells me I don't have to wear a mask. Because who wants to wear a frickin' mask in the middle of the Caribbean? Who wants to wear a frickin' mask at all? I don't think anybody, whether you're pro or anti-mask, likes wearing the mask. It's just a question of whether or not people are going to do it. And we are going to go with whatever cruise line tells us, hey, since you're vaccinated, take that sumbitch off. Plain and simple. And it also goes back to the idea of being able to cruise with kids. If one cruise line tells us, hey, you can bring your child with you and they don't have to be vaccinated and you don't have to wear a mask, we're going with that cruise line. So if I had to actually take a guess right now, looking at how things are going, my guess would be this would be the year that my wife and I might end up actually cruising Royal Caribbean. It's going to require my wife and my daughter to get a passport, which they kind of need to do anyway. But with Royal Caribbean already offering cruises out of the Bahamas as of June and requiring that all adults be vaccinated and that kids under the age of 18, not even 16, under the age of 18 just need a negative COVID test, which they're offering at the ports, I'm going to kind of go with the flow on that, especially if Carnival ends up canceling our cruise that we have booked for December out of New Orleans on the Valor. So it's going to be very interesting to see how things break down going in the future. That's really all I got for you guys. It's hard for me to eat and talk at the same time, so I'm going to get busy smashing the rest of this food. Make sure you're following me on all forms of social media. Nick Cutler on Facebook, Absolute Answer on Instagram, Cutler Coalition on Twitter, and CUTLER8869 on Snapchat, onlyfans.com/absolute answer. I don't know what you're talking about. Merchandise at prowrestlingtees.com/Cutler Coalition. Get all your supplementation needs with Gaspari.com using promo code NHARMON20 for 20% off. Shoot me a direct message if you have any questions about supplementation or if you want to inquire about personal training or online coaching. Until next time, guys, much love. Like, subscribe, drop a comment, and stay Cutler strong.
The Hornet's Nest.